Yes, yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Front. My name is Zayn, joined here by my two good mates. Got Ethan on here and got your boy Cowley here as well, who's decided to zoom in as a main character.
You know what
But
happened
yeah, a
there.
lot to get into today, guys. A lot to get into today. But before we get into everyone, how you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Very good, very good. Obviously, it's nice to wake up on a Monday morning, having actually got 3 points in the bag. I think it feels
Yeah.
liberating, man. I almost forgot how it feels like, but yeah, man, I'm good. E, how are you, man?
Good man, yeah, same man, same. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, got not much more to say, bro. It's kind of like an old school feeling, isn't it?
It's refreshing. It's refreshing. It's refreshing. But now we're getting to a few different things today. We're going to talk about the game, got some player ratings, a little combined player ratings between the three of us, and then we'll have a look into the next few games coming up. Was this the best performance on the Amorim? And where do United really go from here? But you know what, boys? Before we get into it, I can't lie, I'm actually pissed off. And I know we're coming back off a weekend where we've got a good win at home against Chelsea, but man, I'm pissed. You know what is? I was having a chat with E just before we jumped on now. Cowdy, I know you look a bit surprised there. But like, I'll tell you where this all stems from. So I've been having a few different conversations with different United fans. And I feel like, man, you know what? We're just damned if we do and damned if we don't. Like when we're losing games and we're playing well, but we lose, they're like, no, no, no. All that matters is the score. We're not winning. We're not winning games. Doesn't matter how well we played. And then we win a game, and then it's like, you know what, though, I'm not seeing us playing with intent. I'm not seeing nice passing, the way we were zipping it around against Arsenal, this, and that. So I don't know how I feel about it, man. Chelsea got a red card in the first 5 minutes, and I'm just like, it's just frustrating. I feel like we can't win. You know what I mean? We get a little moment of magic that goes our way, and people are like, yeah, but you know what? They had a red card from the first 5 minutes. And then we play really well, like we did against, Arsenal, a few other different performances. They're like, yeah, but we lost the game. Only thing that matters is the score. It's just, it will, no matter how you look at it, we're always somehow being painted out to be not good enough, or you know what I mean? They're downplaying the victory. So man, it's frustrating as hell, man.
You know what? I completely agree, man. Just to add to that, like we played a good team on Saturday. Very good team, a team that I think unanimously most people I think pretty like unanimously would agree that Chelsea are a team that should probably get top four. They got top four last
Yeah.
season, and we beat them. We beat them at home. Obviously, we beat Burnley last game. Everyone was like, "Oh well, you played crap. You shouldn't be going life or death with Burnley." You know what I mean? Last minute penalty, all of that. You got away with it. It's only Burnley, and then we go and beat Chelsea, and man are like, still somehow unhappy. I think people need to just get over themselves and enjoy 3 points at the end of the day. Like, why are you watching football if you can't enjoy 3 points? Like, first thing, so that's before we start talking about Amorim or all of the other optics of the game. Just generally, I heard so much stuff, even on YouTube. Like afterwards, I was listening to some other fan channels and stuff, and some of them were just so negative. And I'm like, bro, we just beat Chelsea at home. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? We played well as well. Like, it was a decent victory. It was a decent result. Is that some people put their agenda of Amorim out or whatever over actually supporting Man United? And it's like, bro, I don't really understand where we're going here. Like, at the end of the day, the basic bread and butter of football is you win a game, you're happy. Like, I don't understand how any other situation can be the case. But yeah, even comparing like us to Chelsea, I got a couple of things I wanted to get off my chest and I wanted to address as well. Yeah, to all the Amorim out people. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yeah, and all the other, and Ernest as well. Yeah, who's been on other streams as well. Remember you two? Yeah, on the last stream we did. Well, how you are backing me into a corner here when I was saying Amorim's a guy. Yeah, I'm telling you. But I just wanted to compare with a good team like Chelsea. Yeah, I wanted to compare their first five to our first five. Yeah, in their first five they played West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, and Man United. Yeah, and we played Arsenal, Burnley, um, Fulham, City, and now Chelsea.
See,
Yeah, and they are 1 point ahead of us. They've got 1 point more, having had their run of fixtures. Yeah. On top of that, all the other teams that like I just put a couple of things, together before the show because I wanted to, address this properly, right? All the teams that finished in the top 8 last season, they're the ones that really we're challenging for. From 4th to 8th. That's what we're looking at, really, isn't it? Yeah. Everyone knows Liverpool, Arsenal, City are a cut above the rest. So you're looking at Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, Forest, and Brighton. They're the team that finished 4th to 8th last season. Yeah. And so far this season, after 5 games played, which, still isn't enough to really get a good, but 5 games, we're above Newcastle, Brighton, Forest, and Villa, and we're 1 point off Chelsea after having just beat them this weekend. So all the Amorim out people, I want to ask you, what do you want from this guy? What do you want from him? Give him time, innit? Give him a little bit of time. Like I said before, I would say even up until January, give him that time and let's see what happens. Talk to me, man. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? How does that win make you feel about Amorim moving forward?
It's not changed my perspective on Amorim moving forward as of now, because he's won 1 game. That's insane. For you to even come on this show, and even suggest that is crazy.
But when he loses a game, you lot are just coming on this show and trying to tell me he needs to get out.
Because he's lost many games. He's lost more games than he's won, mate. Like that's still my perspective. That's not going to change. I appreciate that we played well at the weekend, and as you saw at the weekend, I'm in support of Manchester United. I'm not in support of Amorim or whatever manager is here. I'm in support of Manchester United. That's my football team. Do you know what I mean? So I want the best for Manchester United. If I see that one manager isn't adequate in his way and his approach, then that's just the case. If he changes it over the next 16, 17 games and he hasn't been sacked by that time and he changes it, then great, fantastic. Going forward, he's done something that he needed to be done. Like, there's not much more to it. If he's like poorly performing and he gets to the stage of, when is it? Let's say, I think it was November, wasn't it? That they're saying that they wouldn't have to obviously pay for him if he was sacked or something. So if it comes to then and they haven't sacked him and he's doing well, then great, I'm all for it.
Can I just say, bro, okay, let's compare it to another team. Do you think Unai Emery's a better manager than Ruben Amorim?
I think I've got nothing to go off from Amorim in the Premier League, bro. Like based off what they've both done in the Premier League, yeah, he is a better manager.
Listen, the reason why it's tough to look at last season,
you're basing it off 5 games this season that Villa haven't performed in. You're saying that you can't even make that comparison. It's kind of hypocritical. You're saying that Aston Villa are in a position that they're now worse than us after 5 games. Or after 5 games, Manchester United are now better than all these other teams from under Amorim. You can't.
I'm not saying that.
You can't compare the two. Like,
I'm not saying that. The Premier League table.
All right, wait.
5 games, we are better than Villa. We are better than Brentford. Brighton, Newcastle. I'm not saying that. That's not a narrative I've created. That's the Premier League standing saying that after 5 games, Man United are better than them. So far this season.
What was 5 games last season?
Hold on. I just want to say after 5 games, we played in those 5 games Arsenal, City, and Chelsea, 2 bona fide title contenders, and Chelsea, who everyone can agree is a top 4 contender. And in those 5 games, it still puts us above Villa in that time, who, like I said, have a better manager, and by loads of people are saying they have a better team as well. Yeah, in those 5 games, they played Newcastle, Brentford, Palace, Everton, and Sunderland, and they've got 3 points. 3 points. They're 18th. Last season don't count for nothing this season. United. If we listen, last season don't count for nothing this season. Yeah, we're 5th, but we're not 5th with the asterisk that we finished 15th last season. We're not getting points deductions for finishing 15th last season. We got to start looking at today. The same way I can't look at 10 games in the future. People shouldn't be looking at 10 games in the past either. They both mean nothing right now. Right now, we're 5 games in and we're better than all these teams that supposedly we're competing with. So why is everyone so harsh on Amorim when we win? So harsh on Amorim when we lose, but not willing to give him the props when we win? You can't do that. Because when we lose, it's all Amorim's fault. When we win, it's the player's fault. That's not fair. You got to be consistent. Give the man his props.
Listen.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't really get... It's the bare necessity. It's his bare necessity is to win games, bro.
No, but listen. Let me bring a different angle here.
So what sympathy vote are you giving him? You're giving him some sympathy vote, like.
No. Forget the sympathy. Forget all of that. Listen, forget all of that. Listen, at the end of last season, you can agree the majority of Manchester United fans were in agreement that, you know what, terrible season. We got to the Europa League final. We lost to Tottenham. That was very tough. There were some Amorim hours that appeared then, but not many. You could see the fans were still behind him, right? We said, we'll give him the summer. We'll give him a transfer window. We'll back him, and we'll see what happens, right? We're all in agreement there. That was the general, the general feeling. That's where we were. Now, we can't complain about Ineos We can go, some people might argue they should have got him in midfielder instead of Sesko, whatever. But they spent a lot of money and they actually backed this
Good
guy
transfer
this
window.
summer. Good transfer window. Great. One of the best transfer windows I've seen in a few years. You know what I mean? It's a very, very good transfer window.
We backed it.
Now, they backed it. They backed it. So if you were one of the fans who said, we'll give him the summer, we'll see how he gets on. I don't understand how after 2, 3 games, some people already said Amorim out. Because if you gave him the summer, cool. He got a brand new front three, never played together, no team chemistry just yet. Some people come in at different times in preseason. Some people not even making it in for any preseason games. You know what I mean? But we backed him, played against Arsenal. We lost, but we played, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we played a good game of football. I feel like Amorim actually coached a winnable game. The players did not convert. We lost the game 1-0 from a set piece. I don't think you could be too mad at that result. Fulham away, that game could have been dead and buried within the first half. We didn't capitalize on 3 opportunities, major opportunities, and I feel like the players' mentality dropped a little bit. And after that, we're kind of chasing the game. It's 1-1 in the end. Not a bad performance, not a great performance. You know what I'm saying? Burnley, again, a bit more of the same, but we still got the win out of that. We got smashed against City and we got smashed by, what's that trash team? Grimsby. We lost that Grimsby game as well, which is obviously, we have to accept it happened. I've been a bit in denial, but we have to accept it happened and we're out of the Carabao Cup. Cool. And now we just beat Chelsea. So, as you said, Cowley, we've had 2 losses against probably the 2 of the top 3 teams in the league. We had a draw and 2 wins. What were you expecting coming into this season, knowing our first 5 fixtures? What is it that, as somebody who's now saying you're Amorim out, what was your initial expectation?
Even.
He's asked you.
What was my initial expectation? Like my initial expectation was probably not much more than this. I was thinking like if you can get 2 wins in the first 5, maybe a draw, that'd be great. Do you know what I mean? I was really looking at the first 10 and thinking I knew the first 5 was a tough run, and I was thinking just basically get out of the first 5 with what, like they beat the teams that you should be beating. So the Fulhams, I was expecting if we're going to lose against Arsenal, Chelsea, and City, you got to beat Fulham and you got to beat Burnley. So I was expecting 2 wins on paper. I wasn't really expecting us to beat Chelsea. I was thinking maybe a draw at best against Chelsea, but we ended up beating them.
It's pretty fair. It's pretty fair.
I think overall it's pretty fair.
I'd agree. I'd say expectation wise, looking at the fixtures, I'd say going into the season, I'd say United, realistically, the only winnable game from the first 5 was probably Burnley. I would say that.
So why would you then say that, like, coming to you, like, why would you say Amorim out then? Like,
because that shows how low we've got wrong. I'm expecting United to only win 1 game out of 5. That's the level we're saying is acceptable. Like, I don't get this. Like, Amorim in means that you're accepting somebody that is flawed and only what your expectation is that he's going to win 1 game in 5 at the start of the season, and that means that he should stay in.
At the start of the season, if Pep Guardiola was our manager, I wouldn't expect us to beat Arsenal, City, and think, bro. Look at City. Speaking of Pep Guardiola, yesterday played Arsenal. They literally went, was it 5-4-1 to try and beat Arsenal and still couldn't. They ended up getting a draw. Like, Arsenal are not an easy team to beat. City also are not easy team to beat. They played Arsenal yesterday. They were leading for the majority of the game. These 2 are top teams in Europe, bro. Like, what Man United can't even, like, bro, we are not that level. Like, I think one of the biggest issues in our fan base, and that's coming for you as well, Eve, is that, like, bro, we have expectations of 10 years ago where, like, we come in and we can't expect to be winning the league and beating City and beating Arsenal in the first 5 games. We're not that team right now. Like, maybe next season, maybe the season after, but right now we're not there. We need to be real with our expectations. So, like, if before, like Zayn said at the beginning of the season, if you thought, like, okay, we'll give Amorim a go, like, do you know what I mean? What's he done so wrong that suddenly people are saying he needs to be Amorim out? Which is why I was saying
I just reckon the majority of people who are saying Amorim out, they're not fussed about who the manager is, bro. It's like you 2 have like a personal affiliation with this guy and really wanting to succeed. It doesn't make much sense. I think every other supporter of this club does not care who the manager is. Like, we
Yeah, but
don't care.
it's not personal
We
though.
care about the
It's
results of Man
what
United.
we're gonna
We care
achieve
about the
is the
performances.
question.
The manager is not the issue. Like, he's irrelevant. So I think that's why
Yeah, but
most
okay,
people
say we
don't care
sack the
about
manager.
having him in. Like,
Say we sack the manager. What does that do for us right now?
I don't know.
At this very moment,
I'm not
say
supposed
we
to answer
had
that
this last
question.
international break and we sacked the manager. What are we expecting?
What are you expecting with him? That's even more of a key answer. What are you expecting with Amorim? What are you expecting him to do? Wait, because at the moment he's got United in 11th. So is that what we're saying is good now? Yeah, we're saying being in 11th is all good.
We're 2 points.
It's 5 games
Arsenal,
in.
bro. We're 5
It's
games
5
in.
games in right now.
Next game
So
week.
which one do you look at? Do you look at points or the position? Because which one actually is more important? Is it points or the position? Which is
Right
more
now, position doesn't matter. Points matters way more than position. Because right now we're 5 games in, bro. 5 games.
Yeah,
bro, think about it. Next week, if we beat Brentford, Arsenal have to go away to St. James's Park. If they draw or lose, and we win and we go above Arsenal, does that mean suddenly we're better than Arsenal? No, because it's too early in the season for that. Oh, these things balance out over a course of a season.
If it's too early in the season, then how can you be slating Villa for not winning and being bottom 3?
Because I'm using the Amorim out logic, the Amorim out people's logic against them. How are you lot after 2 games telling me Amorim out? And I'm saying after 5
like
games,
I said, you can't use someone
after
else's
2 games you're
position
telling me Amorim out, but after 5 games,
narrative against your own agenda. It doesn't make any sense. You can't pick and choose agendas. The facts of the matter is, Aston Villa last season are a better team. This season they probably still are a better team. Currently they're behind United. Yeah, cool. Nobody knows where it's going to end at the end of the season, bro. The facts of the matter is, we know that United are unlikely to come top 4 unless a miracle happens. If United come top 4, a miracle has happened, hasn't it? Yeah, we all agree on that.
Man, I hear it, but listen, boys, you know what? Listen, man. Listen, I feel like we can have this conversation all day, and listen, great conversation. It's good to
get
get
involved
into
in
it.
the chat as well. Get involved in the comments and let us know. Because honestly, I don't understand at this point. Like, what do you want from the man? And I got another bone to pick as well when we move on, which I'm sure we're going to move on now, about another player that I want to talk about that a lot of people have been on their back on, which is Bruno Fernandes, by the way. But I just want to say, get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think about. If you are Amorim out, let us know why. Like, why do you still feel like this guy should go? We're 5 games in, we're doing all right. Like, we're not doing amazing, we're not doing bad, but we had a hard run of games, and now we're here. Why? And obviously, give a like and subscribe, of course, if you're new here. That's what we do at the United Front. You know what I mean? A little feisty conversation. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's good to have these conversations, man. Good to get into it. But let's actually get back into the actual game. Let's talk about this game. So, to start off with, what do you guys think of the performances, a 90-minute performance, with all the little different things that happened, the red cards from both teams, how we saw out the game? Do you think, let me know, what do you guys think? What's your opinion on that game so far?
That's the best Amorim performance I've seen. Best performance. Yeah. Hands down.
What makes you say that exactly?
Everything just worked. Everything clicked. It looked like a team that's actually been together. It looks like a team that gelled. It looked like a team that had a purpose. That's the first time I can say there's a bit of an identity. And I'm not going to put anything else into that. I'm not going to say it's because of this, X, Y, Z, or because Chelsea had 10 men or whatever. At the end of the day, that's the first game that I've seen United have a proper identity from 0 to 90. Facts.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think all of those underlying stats that we were seeing, like that I was, trying to talk about earlier on in the season, saying, we're first for this. I think we're starting to see that a little bit more consistently. And I think you're starting to see what Amorim wants from his team a little bit more. And I think you're starting to see those underlying stats, hopefully now, start turning into results. We've this is our second home win in a row. We've got Burnley next, Sunderland the game after that. I think we can hopefully start to put together a little run of results as well as performances. But yeah, specifically speaking about Chelsea, I think we started the game strong. That's the theme that I think we've seen from United every game this season. We've started the first 20, 30 minutes strong in the Fulham game, in the Chelsea game, in the Arsenal game, maybe not in the City game, but like that's something that clearly the team wants to do. In that period where we pressured them, I believe we pressured them into that red card. I don't think the red card just happened by, it was handed down by, some miraculous situation. It wasn't. The red card happened because it was a good ball over the top. It was a good run in behind by Brian Mbeumo, which is something that I've been talking about so much this season. That switch, that run in behind, breaking the lines from Brian Mbeumo. like I said to you before, he's the guy that's done that the most in the Premier League this season. I said that in the last episode. He did it again. Great flick on from Sesko. And I know a lot of people have been talking about how bad Sesko is and whatever, and how bad his performances have been generally, but that's just as good as an assist for me. You've got I know we didn't, obviously, no one signed him for a flick on or whatever, but that's important. You know what I mean? Getting a flick on, that's something that he worked on the training ground, and then the boom, obviously getting Sanchez sent off with a nice little flick around him, and it would have been a goal if not. So, yeah, I think it was a deserved red card, and then we carried on. We went out, we got the first, we got the second, and yeah, we did, I think, what we needed to do, and it was a very good game, like Ethan said. The second half was a little bit more solid. I think we controlled the game. We didn't give away any chances. It literally only had one shot on target all game, and that was a goal, which I think, yeah, big credit to De Ligt. I think he put in a fantastic performance, like unbelievable. I think he's literally just going from strength to strength this season. Yeah, man, I was really happy with the overall performance against Chelsea. I think it was a good team that we played against, and we made them look very average. I think me and Ethan were saying in the stands, we sat next to each other, we're saying this team don't look that good, this Chelsea team, and that's because we made them look like that. It's quite
But
simple.
again, though, I think going back to it, I think that proves that there has been a major underperformance, and like that's the underlying issue why people are upset and don't necessarily see that he should be in a position. Like I can understand people's perspective when they are saying at the end of the day, I've seen enough. That doesn't make me think that he should have another chance or whatever. So I do get both sides of the stick. You understand? Like,
yeah,
completely makes
listen,
sense.
I hear it. I'm not going to sit here and say that all the Amorim out crowd are just completely deluded. I'm not saying that. Like, everyone has the right to that opinion, because especially if you look at his record, it is dire. Like, it's tough. It's a tough watch. And United winning, us winning in the way we did, it almost feels like foreign. And like you said, as a United fan, that shouldn't be ever the thing. That shouldn't be the case. That winning a game feels foreign, like feels special. That should be it. Like, we grew up watching Man United. That was an every single week thing. It was like you didn't even flinch when you won a game. It was just that's what you expected. And hopefully we can get back to that in time. And I'm just saying to the Amorim out crowd, give him a little bit of time. I don't know if he is the right guy, but if you keep seeing performances like we did against Chelsea, which I think was a good performance, I think we'll all slowly start to come back and give him a little bit of support. And yeah, I think just sticking to the game against Chelsea, I think, yeah, like Bruno Fernandes, I thought had a really good game. I thought he kept the ball well. He did play a couple of little silly balls here and there, but I think he was, really good. I actually wanted to talk about Bruno Fernandes just for a quick second. Not just his performance in that game, but it's just generally his performance this season. Obviously, he's been getting a lot of flack for playing, obviously, in center of the park. And people have been saying, can he play that role? Is he a good number 8 and whatnot? And I'm just seeing, like, I've seen like a graph or whatever about, the stats of Bruno Fernandes compared to the other players in his position in the Premier League. And like, I don't really, like, for the people that are doubting him, I wanted to ask them as well. So get involved in the comments as well. But I was going to say to you guys, like, what do you want from him? Because again, he's been like, I think he's in the 99th percentile for key passes, 96th percentile, which means obviously only 4% of midfielders in his position play more progressive passes than him. 91st percentile for forward passes completed. He's about average in duels won, and 62nd percentile in possessions won. So like, I just wanted to, he's had the most key passes, most through passes, most shot assists, most expected assists, most XG and XA, most passes into the penalty box. Like, he's number 1 for so many metrics when compared to midfielders in the Premier League. And I think 100 goals in 100 goals, 85 assists in 296 appearances in Man United. He's just a machine, man. Like, so just, I just want to give a little bit of appreciation to Bruno Fernandes, because I think he gets a lot of stick all the time from Man United fans. And having made his
a lot of time. I think a lot of time with Bruno Fernandes, man. I think he comes back to his discipline. I feel like there's times, you're not just judged by your output or statistics. You're especially someone like Bruno Fernandes is the captain of the club. He's also, judged and assessed by his performance as a captain. And a lot of the time, you see Bruno Fernandes, just lack of discipline a lot of the time. It's not to say that he can't produce or create. The last 4 or 5 seasons, however long it's been now with Bruno, since he joined, has been very clear what he can do in terms of creativity and getting the points, getting us winning us games, good results. You know what I mean? But it's it's those times when the games aren't going our way. What does he start doing? The way he starts just pinging the ball around to trying these Hollywood passes when we should be trying to retain possession, stretch out for a win, things like that. On top of that, the fact that he's always whining and whinging, and it's not, people look at him and think this guy's not filling the rest of the team with the confidence. And I understand captains don't all have to be like Roy Keane. That's not the only method and style of being a captain that can be
I mean,
appreciated.
you say that, sorry to interrupt, but bro, how much I was saying into the game, going into the game on Saturday, that we need to score the first goal because we never score the first goal. We're always on the back foot having to chase games. And who steps up to score us that first important goal and put us on the front foot against Chelsea? Sometimes you're right, not all captains lead like Roy Keane and they start shouting and dragging people by the collar. Some people grab the game by the collar and they get a goal and assist in a really important time. Like you could say, 10 men or whatever, and it was the same in those important games last season in the Europa League. When we needed him, he was always the one that would step up against Bilbao away. They got that red card straight away. Bruno Fernandes was there stepping up, scoring goals. Before they got the red card, he actually scored the opening goal. He's always there scoring important opening goals.
Well, I hear it. I'm with you, by the way. I'm a big Bruno fan. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just giving you the counter argument here to what a lot of people. As a Bruno, he's got that great upper, but he can be extremely frustrating. And I think because he can produce such a high level of output for you, he's even more frustrating because you know what he can do, and then what he does decide to do at times is just pisses people off. You know what I mean? It pisses people off, and you know you can't argue he does lack a bit of discipline. He does have a lot of areas where he can improve. And I think a lot of the time people are fixating on those things. But
look, I get it. I get why Bruno frustrates people. I get frustrated a lot. I often sat in the stands, even this weekend, I was sat in the stands with Ethan. Enough times we were getting vexed every time he was swinging the ball in the box unnecessarily or losing the ball and we should have probably kept it. I get it. But quite often, we don't take the good with the bad. We just take the bad. And this is a thing that happens with a lot of things at United that was really starting to annoy me. And at the beginning of the video, you always said it annoyed you. These things that I don't think a lot of fans, whether it's with Amorim, whether it's with Bruno, they just take the bad and they don't take the good with it. And when the good happens, they're quiet. Nobody wants to talk about, this guy played a really good game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think on Saturday, he played a really good game. He scored a leader's goal to put us forward. And that was an example of him being a good leader. Because when people, like I said, if Bruno Fernandes was to go out there on Saturday and put in a crap performance and get sent off in the first 20 minutes, everybody will be talking about how bad of a leader he is, how he shouldn't be captain, and so on and so forth. So like I said, I'm just giving him his props and giving him his flowers where it's due. That's all.
Nah, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. But speaking of the game itself, I think you know what I mean? I think we can sit here again. We've been speaking about a lot of controversial topics today, whether it be Amorim, whether it be Bruno Fernandes. I feel like we can sit here all day long, but there's meant to be a match review, and I feel like we're doing a United review right now.
I mean, we could stretch. I mean, this could definitely pass as, our review of the podcast, whatever. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, a lot happens at United every single day, and like we've seen the reaction. The reaction from the game is almost a whole thing in itself. Like responding to the reaction of the fans. We were such a obviously loud and vast fan base, and I think just hit.
Maz is gonna have to be careful next time he goes to Old Trafford. Boy.
Nah, boy, come at me, man. I swear, come out, man. What are you talking about? Pull up, talk to me.
Sending for everyone.
Absolutely, bro. No problem at all, man. Come see me, bro. We could talk about it. I have no problem at all about that. Everything I'm saying, I have a reason for saying it, and I'll back it up with evidence. You know what I mean? I'm not.
I hear it, man.
I'm not worried. But looking forward then, boys. What do you think then? Obviously, we might as well just give it a little look forward. Like, got Brentford, we got Sunderland. Good opportunity to hopefully get a little run of games. Ethan, what do you think?
I think just take one game at a time. I think even when we're like obviously getting ahead of ourselves off the back of like, for me, the first decent proper decent performance this season, where we've actually like obviously done something effective, i.e., won a game, as well as playing well. Do you know what I mean? Like everything come together properly. I think just take the baby steps, man. The baby steps. Like for him to go from being the devil right now in everybody's mind to being the best person we can possibly have for the job, he's going to have to win a lot of games. So to do that, we've got to take it game by game. As I said, I think the performance against Chelsea has like given me something to go off, and I was proud of the players, and they played really, really well. But again, we've got Brentford next week. We just got to take it slowly. Like we can't push too much. You know what I mean?
I mean, I agree. I think it's important to not look at it, you know, too far ahead. But I think, especially because of the first couple of games were so tough, it's kind of nice to go. I mean, we've still got, you know, Anfield away in the next 3. I was just going to say to Zayn, like, how important do you think it is to try and get a little run of results? Because we haven't done that, especially going into the international break and then Anfield away, because God knows what happens at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? If we go out there and get a drubbing, how important is it to make sure that we get some good results before that then?
Well, in my opinion, man, I think it's crucial that we get something out of these next 2 games. You know me, you know where I stand when it comes to Ruben. Like behind him, I think, you know what I mean. I think he's the man to turn it around. I think, you know, the next 2 games they're massive, man. They're massive for the players, their confidence. Also, it's massive just to shut up the media, bro. Like, I can't be bothered for a new stat or, you know, it's been this long since he hasn't won back-to-back games. What kind of stupid stat is that, by the way? Everybody seems to be clinging onto this. You can finish so high up in the table by never winning in one season 2 games in a row. You could win one, draw one, win the next one, draw one, lose one, draw one, win 2, win 1, sorry, not 2. Or, you know, can't win back-to-back games. But, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody's ever won the title not winning 2 games in a row, bro. But search it.
Listen, I hear you. But I'll be going for the title this year, though. We're not going for it. Listen. I hear it, man. I hear it. But I just think when it comes to Manchester United, they will look and search for every single silly statistic to keep trying to keep us down, keep pushing the manager down, keep just getting in people's minds, bro. The reason why people are so angry and so vexed is because every time they go on Twitter or every time they're watching Match of the Day or every time anything football related, man, the Champions League days, there was like, what, 3 days of just Champions League football. Every single day, they're talking about Amorim. And you're like, we're not even in the damn competition, bro. Like, they're filling everybody's minds non-stop just about how crap Manchester United are, how rubbish this Manchester United manager is, the system, this. Did you see that system? Did you see that system against Chelsea? Because I know I saw it. I was there in your seats, Ethan. You know what I mean? I was watching that. I'm watching every single time. We're pushing on the left, Luke Shaw steps into midfield. It's on the right defensively, we're seeing De Ligt stepping into midfield.
It
We
was
are literally
everywhere.
every single time, no matter where the ball, that team is rotating like a well-oiled machine. Chelsea didn't do nothing, even when after the 60th minute, where they had that little, like, you know, their first little spell of possession. Even after we were 10 men each, we were still gunning them down at the beginning of the second half. We wanted it more. The system was operating, everything. Nobody's talking about the system then. But it was, bro, Luke Shaw, I think he's rubbish, you know, against City. Look, I think he was fantastic. Yes, on a weekend. De Ligt,
I
man of the
wonder.
match for me.
I wonder how much of it is, though, like looking back at the weekend's results, and I just want to include, obviously, the Arsenal City game in this as well. How much is it to do with, obviously, us having the freshness from not playing for a whole week? Chelsea obviously had a very difficult game in Munich, which 100%, they went on to lose.
100%.
And I think the way that they played was tepid. They didn't really come forward with much threat at all from minute 0. The chances that we did actually give them was down to ourselves. It was self-inflicted chances. So still there are, like, it's not just all 100% positive spin that we can run with it. There are still definitely a few question marks. And I think that you can tell the parallels between Chelsea's performance and even City's performance, where City couldn't go on for 90 minutes to play the way they did in the first 15 against Arsenal. They slowed down. They had to play a different game. They went methodical about their
But again, is that a fair, like, scope to look at Man United games with? Because, like, generally,
we've got an extra 6 days of training and fitness on everybody else with no games.
But that's the thing, though. But we spoke about this. Do you remember, Cowley? We spoke about this before the beginning of the season. We said the fact that we lost against Tottenham in the final, the Europa League last year, although it's a shame, although it's horrible, it gives us the advantage this year. So now we have to capitalize on that advantage and keep winning these kind of games. You know what I mean? And it's a positive. I'm not mad at that. We can take that.
I'm not really saying it from that angle. I'm saying generally football matches get decided like in periods. Like teams don't play well for like 90 minutes of the game.
It's not about playing well. It's about having a very difficult game in Munich and then having a very difficult game at Old Trafford in the pissing rain, where suddenly something goes bad and you're down to 10 men within 7 minutes. Like those things have a knock-on effect. Like, and that is that period. That period which mainly affected the whole game for us and them was the first 7 minutes when Sanchez got sent off. That's like non-negotiable. That did make a difference in the game.
I personally don't know if that's fair because, like, again, when they played Palace in the first game of the season, they didn't look great. They drew 0-0. When they played Fulham, they won that game. But if you remember, they didn't play well. Fulham actually deserved to be ahead in that game and deserved to win that game. And the game actually tilted on a pivotal moment in which they got their Fulham got the opening goal disallowed by VAR, which shouldn't have been disallowed either. And so what I'm trying to say is no other team is really looked at with that scope that Man United is looked at, in the sense of how are we judging a good game, a good performance, and a good victory by the fact that Chelsea had a spell of possession in the game. That's always going to happen. They're a top 4 team with some very good players, bro. They spent like £2 billion in the past, like,
yeah, but I'm not about possession. I'm saying that United had an advantage because of the fact that we didn't have a game midweek. That's not about possession.
Yeah, but we need to use that advantage, and like, that's not. We shouldn't.
No,
like,
that's what we were saying. That's what we were saying.
We're
saying
like,
we can highlight it.
I don't even think we should even like highlight it and use it as a neg, because I feel like it's one of them ones where it's just another reason for. Look, I feel like every time we win, there's always an asterisk on us. We win, it's either
we've won twice this season, as in we've not won. We've only won 2 games this season. Out of every single game, we've won 2.
And we've lost twice to 2 teams everybody expected us to lose to, that we should have lost to. Like, and even in those games, I think we deserve to win at least one of them. Like going back to Zayn's point earlier, I'm saying like Fulham, I think we did enough to win that game. Arsenal, I think we did enough to win that game. City, I agree, bad performance, horrible performance. Was it Burnley? We did enough to win that game comfortably. We played well. Chelsea, we did enough to win that game. I think we deserve to win like at least 3 or 4 even out of those 5. If you're actually looking at the way we're playing. And yeah, we lost 2 to the 2 teams that will punish you if you don't put away your chances. And obviously, to be honest, City were just dominated us. We didn't even create many chances against them. But still, bro, like, we won is a good thing. It's positive. Let's be positive about it. Let's be good about it. Let's be happy about it.
Let me ask you a bit of a question, yeah, which is just like a bit of a hypothetical, yeah. This is to both of you as well. Who's your favorite all-time ever manager? Like, actually, no. Who's your favorite current manager in world football? Available, like, not something just stupid you think that wasn't possible for United to get. Somebody that was ever so slightly available.
Probably.
Tough one. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Because availability is like, there's not really.
So not even just. So I'm just saying, don't do something stupid like say Pep. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
not to that scale. Like someone who is achievable at some point for Manchester United to be a Manchester United manager.
If we were to get rid of Amorim suddenly today, I'd probably say someone like Iraola or someone.
That's the bar. So your bar's Iraola, yeah. So you wouldn't go any higher than that. It'd be Iraola would be your.
I mean, I'm looking at someone who's performing well in the Premier League. That's a team that we can actually get. But like, I don't know. Like, there's not many teams I don't think there's many like great managers out there. There's a lot of like good managers out there.
Right, cool. Conte, yeah. So say for instance, Conte at Napoli, yeah, who does very well in that league. Yeah. If you had the opportunity tomorrow to say Conte can come in, you're not swapping him with Amorim.
I don't think that's achievable, bro. To be honest, I think that's just as unachievable as Pep and that. Like,
you think Pep and
Conte's won a league. He's currently top of the league. He's got like spent bare money on this team, and he's been backed very well. Like, why would he come to United right now? I think that's unrealistic. That's just as unrealistic. But
it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Maybe if Conte was available, maybe, yeah. But again, I don't think Conte is a long-term manager. I think he comes in, does well for a couple of years, and goes away. Like maybe 2 years. And goes away. I'm
just trying to judge. I'm just trying to judge where your scale of both of your guys' scale of Amorim in is. Like, is it to like just?
I want to give this man.
Like you're obsessed with the guy. Or is it
just listen, it's not about Amorim, bro. I want to give this.
It's not about him, man. I don't know the guy, bro. We weren't friends in school, me and Amorim. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got no history, man. I'm like, I just think he's got an idea. I think he got dealt a very tough hand since he came in. You know, he didn't even want to come when he came. And he told them what's going to happen. They said, no, come anyway. I think it's misdirected anger. It should really be at the board because they made that decision. We suffered last season because of their decision. He wanted to come at the end of the season because he
And if he
knew
would have
what
come at the end
happened
of the
would
season
happen.
and had this start right now, nobody would be telling him, "Oh, he needs to get sacked."
Oh, yeah, of
Nobody.
course.
And right now, like he's
But
see,
they
bro,
threw him.
he
They
sees that he
threw him
doesn't want to
under.
be able to
I know
go
that
on.
was the most. That was the most like. Obviously, innit? Obviously, no one's gonna be
No,
saying
but
it.
my
It's like
point is that was what he wanted, and then the board
I
pushed him
get
to
that.
come
I
now,
get that.
and he
But
knew, he
we can't turn a
anticipated.
blind eye to what happened last season, though. Innit? At the same time, like me, I'm very much on judge him personally. I'm judging from this season because I think the situation he fell into last season was actually unfair, and it's not what he wanted. And it would have been tough for any manager, especially trying to install a completely brand new system to a team that were left from Ten Hag with confidence on the floor. It was already an upwards battle from when he came in. It was always going to be tough, and he knew it.
And I'm
So
gonna,
I'm judging him on this season, but you still can't just completely forget last season. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it's there, and you know what I'm saying. We can't be completely can't turn a complete blind eye to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
listen, no one's forgetting last
I
season,
can
but the
understand the
conditions are
Amorim
different.
mountains. You know what I mean?
The conditions are different now. Yeah. Before I couldn't judge him because he brought him in the middle of the season, like all the reasons Zayn just said. You brought him in the middle of the season. He not only told the board that he didn't want to come in and he was worried about coming into the middle of the season, he told us in his second post match press conference. He says the storm's coming. Those famous words that absolutely traumatized me to the end of last season. The storm's coming. He told us, he told the board, and he told the fans, I can't do nothing right now with these dead players, with this dead team. I need a while to turn it around. My system isn't for these stragglers, like Luke Shaw called them. They ain't going to be able to do this. And he spent this summer getting rid of a lot of stragglers. A lot of players changed. We added four. Our starting lineup has 4 or 5 of his signings now, right? Now we can start to judge him. Now I'm looking at Amorim and saying, bro, show me something. But I need to give him time to show me something. I'm not going to expect him to show me something in 3 games or 4 games or even 5 games. Like, even now, what we've seen so far is decent. I'm not saying, oh, wow, keep Amorim, he's amazing. I'm saying he still might not be good enough. But give him a month or 2. Let me see for sure that this guy isn't good enough. Don't sack him now when he hasn't even started. We don't even know whether he's going to be good enough or not. So that's my
That's
thing.
the
He might
thing.
not be good enough.
Bro, I'm the same as you, man. I'm the same as you. For me, I just like somebody to be given a fair shot. I don't like unfair treatment. I don't like unfair behavior. I don't like, you know what I mean? To me, I'm one of them guys, man. You know what I mean? I always back the underdog in situations like this because I don't think it's fair. He told us what's happening. He knew what he wanted. They said it's now or never. And you know what? I rate him. He said now because you know what? Fuck it. It's Manchester United. I'm going to Manchester United. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. We're here now, though. Like Cowley just said, you got to give him some actual time to show it. They've given him a new team. They've given him some solid new players, given him a brand new front three. They've given him a new goalkeeper. Now let's actually see what he does. It can't be 2, 3 games. Everyone's nah, this guy's a fraud. He's got everybody, under some spell. He's this, nah, man. Just give him a couple games to see what
I
happens,
think
isn't it?
I think realistically, like we probably shouldn't even have an Amarin in or out discussion for another 3-4 games. If we come back in 4 games and he's
100%.
top 2, top 3, we're flying, whatever, top 8, whatever, top 10, whatever. We ain't lost another 4 games. Let's have a chat then about whether it's Amarin in or out. Because I think as we all decided, we're not at the right stage to be able to make a decision on whether he's in or out.
Absolutely. And I ended last week's podcast saying the same thing that I'm going to end this week's podcast on, which is at the end of the day, yeah, we can't make this. Give him 10 games. Let's not, after every single game, jump to a conclusion of Amorim out, Amorim in. It doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve Amorim. It doesn't serve us as fans. It serves nobody. Give him 10 games. Yeah, another 10 games. 15 games, whatever, get to January, then you'll start to see a pattern of results. He would have played most teams in the league by then. A good mixture of very good teams, average teams, and not so good teams. And he would have had a good mix of all of them, and hopefully would have got some points on the board. And I think so far, 5 games in, so good. Can you agree on that at least?
No, man, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. But listen, on that note, I think we wrap it up here. It's been a very good conversation. Everybody, please make sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And turn on the notifications. We got a lot coming this week. A lot of good content coming. I think we got the whole podcast either tomorrow or the day after. We got the match previews, and then we got the watch along for you guys on the weekend as well. So make sure you stay tuned in. And yeah, peace.
Oh, sorry guys. I just wanted to add quickly before we leave. If you're not following on the socials as well, get following on the Instagram. On the TikTok, we put a video obviously up of our view of the goal from the stands, and it's doing absolute crazy numbers at the moment. So if you're not following on the TikToks at UtdFront, go and look at some of our game footage from there, from Saturday. And obviously follow us on Instagram, and make sure, of course, you're subscribing on YouTube. Most importantly, for this good old long form feisty conversation that me and Ethan and Zayn and Ernest and Co will be having. So yeah, take care, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one, guys.